Okay, so if the society forces you to work a job that you don't want to work, you're a slave. Now, I mean, technically, I guess a slave is someone who works who doesn't receive any money, but if you have to work and it's not spontaneous work, in other words, like, you spontaneously want to do this work because you feel moved to do it at the moment, it would be better if our entire society collapsed and all our children starved and everyone died, rather than people feeling that they were forced to contribute to this in order to just maintain their own life. I mean, sure, yeah, it's great. Oh, yeah, like, look outside, people driving the bus, people, like, running the gas station, people manning the counter, 7-Eleven, all for you, as long as you have your own little amount of money to give them. But it has nothing to do with who you are. It has nothing to do with what you want to do. It has nothing to do with what God or your own inner voice told you that you were supposed to do or what you wanted to do. And I don't feel any reason to contribute to the society, because this is a society that basically never insured my father's medical condition, so he had a miserable life. They treated my mom like shit, even though she was the best worker in her firm, because they didn't like how she happened to, I don't know, they just didn't like her. Or the fact that it's really a popularity contest, and when you have a capitalistic society, it's going to be based upon who they think, if it's once it's passed who does the best job and they just need a body to fill the position, then it's just whoever looks nicest or fits nicest or happens to be nicest. It's not a meritocracy, it's just a popularity contest. It becomes a club rather than a society. And since that happens all over the place, and it obviously is going to happen, the society that, thrives on capitalism is not one that's ever going to really cater to human beings, and it's based on force, essentially, because anyone who disagrees with it is either going to just have to die on the sidelines, be supported charitably, or is going to be taken by police and put in jail for being in the way, like sleeping on a park bench, or committing a crime trying to survive, like, robbing, to get some food, or if you want to take it even further, just trying to do some sort of criminal activity just to survive and live the life that they want to live. The society, for whatever reason, has decided that they're not popular enough or aren't quite right enough to be in. And since what society thinks is right and proper changes all the time and evolves all the time, there's no constant, basis for what that would be. And what I was actually raised to be when I was young is now completely, antithetical. Right speaking, ethical, rigorously logical, critical. All those things are just verboten now. Not even the journalists are those things anymore. And so what I'm trying to say is, in that case, what you've done is you've made a society of puppies, okay? And that anyone who is really different and really decides that, I don't want to do these jobs because I think that there's something more noble that I can do, you've made it so that that person will die if you don't happen to agree with them. Or at the very best, you just say, well, go out there and find some way to survive. It's not on us. When at the same time, every day, we ask people to rise above their animal natures and be civilized, but then when we talk about supporting each other, we revert back to the law of the jungle and say, no, the law of the jungle says every man for himself. But then when someone takes a gun and shoots someone else because they want their money, because they're starving and can't get it any other way, then it's like, how could you? How could you betray your brothers like that? How could you betray a big human family like that and hurt someone? Well, you're hurting me. You're hurting me a lot. You're not allowing me to express myself. You're not allowing me to live over here with the stuff I paid for, or my family paid for, the last what we had, to try to do the one thing I felt I could ethically do to contribute to society. No, I'm just supposed to do whatever it is you guys decide you want me to do, when apparently, if you watch these rants, I can't even be a consumer with any kind of equality or equitability. I can't even go into a place and buy things every day without being shit on. And you want me to work? That's slavery, okay? No, if you had a job that I ethically felt that I could do, like I felt was really contributing to something, and it wasn't just bullshit and political innuendo and a bunch of people doing a circle jerk while they didn't really do anything real because they're too inhibited to actually make any real difference in society, no, I'm not going to be that way. That's not the way I am. And when if it ever does come down to it, that I'm just living from hand to mouth and have nothing else for me, and there's no way to get it, and I'm tired of telling everyone to have them tell me that I'm a unit in an economic formula, I'm a malfunctioning child who can't manage to get it right because I'm trying to actually be the human being that God told me that I was supposed to be, or that at least I decided through my own existential and rigorous philosophy and writing tons of books and watching what happened to my family and watching what happened to other people, what I thought was the best thing to be, rather than what you thought was the best thing to be. And I'm not hurting anybody, and I haven't done anything yet, but you're killing me. You're killing me by saying that I have to be a certain way in order to exist, okay? No. No, you're not going to tell me that. I want to contribute to your society. You don't want my contributions. Well, if we're at this impasse and I haven't hurt you, then I don't see why you should be hurting me. All right? I mean, it's not about me earning a living. I mean, someone who, makes $500,000 a year and just bought a new Porsche, it says, I worked for 2 years to get that Porsche. I earned it. Well, yeah, you did earn it within the context of the field that you were in, okay? You happened to be in a field where there were $500,000 salaries and an education that you were raised in a way where you acted and oinked and barked just the way you're supposed to oink and bark amongst those people, all right? And you've got it even in your head that somehow, this is the more civilized way it is to be. But then you can go amongst the black people and listen to their music and listen to their jazz. And when you took their instruments away, listen to their rap, okay? And they rocked the whole world with it. Well, who is more smart then, okay? Because I can't remember the last thing you rich white people did that really contributed to the world, okay? Can't remember your last invention. Can't remember the last wonderful thing you did. The closest I come to is Bill Gates, and Bill Gates thinks you should invest in the poor. Okay, and I don't like the label of the poor, all right? Because the label, that's something you made up for people. Because you see, all our riches were right out there to be taken by everybody, and a couple wise asses came and took them all for themselves, and now we have to earn them from them. When they were right out there for everybody, okay? They were right out there for everybody to get. And a couple people got there first, and now they sell it to the rest of us. And we too could have just gotten out there and just gotten it. Okay? And now they have, just like the Gestapo in Nazi Germany, they're telling me that I'm not economically fit to do what I love to do in my heart. So I need to do something else. And that's not slavery. No, that's not slavery.